Welcome to another Empower tutorial, and we've got a special guest with us today. We've got Scott Bacon on the line, and Scott is going to walk us through today courses, what courses are, what we can do with them. And Scott, I think the end goal of this discussion will be to get a look at what kind of reports can be created with using courses. Maybe we could start there by having you show us maybe one or more different kinds of reports that are possible, and then we could backtrack and look at the creation of those.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. So when we have reports, we can structure them many ways. And one way is we can organize our information, our standards, through courses. And I'll show you a quick report that is set up in such a way. So here's a progress report that a high school is using. And what we have set up is we have all of these courses here. You can see who the instructors are. And then we see each of the learning targets that are actually included in that course. We see how the students have actually performed on that. And then we have a course summation down here where we see the current course score, percentage of the course completed, and in this case we even have a pacing mechanism to be able to see, if is this good? Is this what we would expect? Or would we expect the student to be a little further along? However, once a course is actually completed, we will see that it will report that it is a final course score, a percent course complete, and we'll see here that a credit has been earned, or whatever credits this report might be able to, or this course might be able to supply the student.
Scott,
Go ahead.
maybe this will be answered as we go, but could you tell us how are current course scores accumulated, and as well, how is pace determined?
Current course scores are determined based on the learning targets. It's an average of the learning targets that have been scored. Like for instance, I can see here, it's kind of an easier case where I've got these just three standards in this course. And we've taken these, and we've averaged them, and we've got the score. However, if you flip over to this other course over here, I have actually quite a few of the standards that haven't even been scored yet.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's the case, we actually exclude these because we do not know what the student actually knows in this regard. It's either not been assessed or hasn't been addressed yet. So we take what we do know, average it, and that's why this percent course complete is very important, because that's going to let us know, we have a 2, or I might even have a 4, but at this point I've only completed X percent. So in this case I have 2, but I've only completed 13% of the course. That's out of the box how the percentages and the average course score is generated.
Percent course complete, for example, in the ninth grade integrated science there on the left, 75%, he's getting partial credit for his 2.5 and his 1.5. Is that correct?
Yeah, every piece of learning is important. We want to appreciate every step along the way that the student has actually been able to demonstrate, and all of that goes into calculate the percentage.
Okay, thanks.
Right now, the pace is determined by default. It's going to be on pace, or a teacher could manually change that. And right now, it is a manual process. However, very shortly, this will all be automated.
Okay, great.
And so, we're just kind of thinking in a simple term. Again, our introduction here to courses are going to just give us some other variations of how we can do the reports. One other item, which is going to be very important, is the transcripts. And these courses are going to also be able to come through with the transcripts. We'll be able to see, again, the scores that they have in that and the credits earned. And this is going to help us determine GPAs and have something that we can actually give out to colleges. All right, so with that as our backdrop, what we want to do is we want to learn, well, how do we create a course within Empower? And by default, the ability to create a course is reserved for the administrator account or logins. So a teacher, if you log in as a teacher, by default, what I'm about to show you, the teachers won't be able to actually see. And that's generally good because what we're doing is we're creating a program of studies or your course catalog, if you will, and it's going to be district-wide, and you're going to probably want that under lock and key. However, if you do want to broaden that, you can give teachers access. That would be a request you would make to us, and we would set a configuration key that would allow that. So I'm going to log in as an administrator. Now, within Empower, a course is a playlist. So what we're doing is we're reusing the playlist tool to be able to get us a lot of different functionality. And so I'm just going to start from scratch. Now, the playlist features, of course, are available to teachers, and that's not the restricted area. But I'll show you once we go in here what is unique. So I'm going to go and create a playlist. So I click a little plus, create a playlist. And I'm going to start off, and I'm going to give my playlist a title, and let's just call this Algebra 1. This is my Algebra 1 course. And really, the only thing I need to do is all contained in the big idea. So I'm going to click on the big idea. And a course is really, from the most basic pieces, we need to know what learning targets are going to be associated with the course. So let's just do that. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on the little plus. I'm going to select my content area, and I am going to pick some standards. So I've got some high school level algebra standards, and I'm going to go through and select for Algebra 1 which learning targets we're going to need. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be kind of quickly selecting a few of these items, and we're just going to say that this selection here is going to represent my Algebra 1 course. When I go here, I have 10 targets selected. I could click that also, and I can see exactly what those courses are. If I wanted to, I didn't have to stay just within math. I could have selected anything. I could have selected, mixed it up even, science or whatnot. But whatever the course is, we want to stay true to the course, and we're going to select just the learning targets that pertain to this course. Now, if I wanted to, I could give the overview and answer these things, but the required fields are going to be the targets, and this is the part that only the administrators see. Is this a course? So only the administrators have the ability to make a playlist a course. And if I check this, then we're going to see a course number. Now, this field here is very important to not just make up a course number, but if you already have courses that are in your student information system, such as Infinite Campus or PowerSchool, use the same course numbers. The reason why is the system is smart enough that when we do the import of your class rosters, and we know what classes and students are in those classes, we'll be able to associate through the import what playlist or what courses those students should be associated with when it comes to reporting. So here's the thought, is if we have the correct course number that matches your SIS system, when the SIS data comes in, we'll be immediately able to associate the course, this playlist, with the correct students.
And when students and teachers log in after an upload of that kind, they'll see these playlists already on their homepage?
They will, yes.
That's very good.
Okay. All right, so we're going to enter a course number. I'm just going to make this up, but let's say this was LG 101. And then another important thing is the credits. What credits will the student get or have the opportunity to receive? And again, this will show up on our progress report, like we saw here. And it becomes very important in figuring all kinds of different things, GPA and other things within the transcripts. Now, once we have those essentially four pieces, targets, check it, give us a course number and a credit.
only admins have the ability to do this, the bottom three sections there. What if an admin were to find a playlist that was created by a teacher? Could they create a copy, come into the Big Idea, and make that copy into a course? And in that way have teachers creating courses, but still without the ability to make them officially courses? Would that work?
Yeah, yeah. An admin will see this option on any playlist. It
Okay.
doesn't matter who created it or what it is, but they have that option. All right, so we've essentially finished it. We've done the prerequisite needed to get the course there. So I have my Algebra 1 course. I'm actually, because in my system I've got a couple of these, I'm going to say with Ben. This is my Algebra 1 course with Ben, so we can really make this distinct. Now, let's say I wanted to, the teachers, maybe they create a group and they wanted to manually associate or add our special playlist here or our course. They can go in underneath the search and choose a playlist. And you'll see here there's an option that says only show courses. So I'd like to do a search, but I only want to show, have search results be with courses. And maybe I'll do a little quick filter there, hit search. And there you go. So you can see, kind of play around with this, but here's our course that we just created, and I can go in and I can assign this, and now I have that course associated with my group. Okay, and there it is, Algebra 1 with Ben. Now, a few of the benefits that we get is, one of the first benefits is that a teacher will have a specific grading spreadsheet that is narrowed down, filtered, focused on just the learning targets that are in the course. So I can click on this now, and there are the 10 learning targets that we actually included in the course, and I can do all my tracking right here, very simply with just focus on the course itself.
So Scott, what's really great about this whole process is that districts can pre-package these courses, really lay out the learning that they want teachers to take their students through, and teachers can see clearly what's expected there throughout the course and have a really simplified grading spreadsheet here. It's kind of really serving it all up on a golden platter.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Yeah, so the next thing we want to do is we want to kind of dig into kind of what we started off with. How does it start to play in to being able to generate some of these reports? And the biggest area that we're going to see this is we're going to go to our menu. So we click the Empower, and I'm ready to do the progress report. So we click on the progress report, and you will make whatever selections that you have. This is just going to be your filtering. What progress period are you going to do? What school are you going to be working with? You have the ability to filter on teachers, classes, all of these different items. But the report that we are going to use to or select to actually generate this progress report that I was showing you earlier is the playlist performance report. That's what it's called. And you can continue and make any of your filters.
So Scott, what if they don't see the playlist performance report as an option in their drop-down menu? What can they do to get that turned on? Because different districts might have different options right now, correct?
Yeah, they might. If you don't see the option in the report, you just make a request, and we'll make sure that that gets set up.
Okay. And Scott, you showed us two different kinds of reports. One was the playlist performance report, and you showed us another, the one in pastel colors. What's that report, and how or when can they look for it?
So this is a transcript report, and it's coming. At the time of this video, it hasn't been released yet. And once it is released, it'll be available in this drop down as well, and it's going to be called the transcript report.
Okay, great. Scott, thank you so much for your time. This was really informative, and hopefully it'll be a help to the users. For follow-up on this and to see the rest of this form here and to actually get to how to print these reports, be sure to check out the video on report printing. We have a separate video for that. But for now, we'll leave this discussion here and pick it up in that next video. And thanks again, Scott, for being with us today.
All right, thanks, Ben.